I am Eloise Hayes. I am 72, and tonight is the night I learned my place in my own son's story. The air was thick with the scent of magnolias drifting in from the river. The kind of Charleston evening where the sky turns copper before it folds into black. I had worn a pale silk dress and the pearl earrings my mother gave me. They might still mean something. From the front lawn, I could hear the quartet playing under the twinkle of string lights. It was supposed to be a night of family celebration and pride. Instead of being led toward the long table at the center of the reception, I was steered through a side door into a cramped room behind the kitchen. Servers in white shirts bustled around me, stacking plates. One of them, a young woman with bright pink hair, looked up and caught my eye. "You okay, hun?" She mouthed it, her eyes full of questions. I managed a weak smile and a thumbs up. I didn't want her to know how tightly I was gripping my clutch. I found a chair tucked in the corner, far from the window, and sat down. Suddenly aware of how hot the room was, I pulled my shawl from my shoulders and set it on the table. Moments later, my husband, Beau, joined me. He was flushed and damp with a sheen of sweat on his upper lip. "What the hell, Lou?" he said, pulling out a chair and sitting down. "What are we doing here? Where's the party?" I could tell he was trying to be even louder than his voice allowed. He mouthed some words that were lost on me. Then he leaned closer. "What are they doing, Beauregard?" I asked. He reached for my hand, but I pulled away. "Don't touch me." His eyes, usually so full of warmth and humor, were clouded with confusion. "We're not in the well, are we?" I said, my voice cracking. He squeezed my hand then, and I let him because I knew he wasn't lying. We weren't in the will. In the weeks after my son's wedding, I would replay this moment over and over in my mind, searching for an answer to what it all meant. But that night, I only had one thought. If Will wanted us out of his life, why hadn't he just told us? Why go through the charade of a family dinner, of pretending that none of us had ever known the truth? Would my dear, sweet Will, who once climbed into our bed to tell us about a fight at school, call the police on us now? Accuse us of stealing, accuse us of murdering his father? My throat tightened and my eyes stung with unshed tears. This was the question that had driven a wedge between us, between Will and me, since I first heard his father's diagnosis 3 months earlier. Had that been when it started? Had Will, with a child's logic, decided that 2 parents were better than one? My phone vibrated against my leg. I pulled it out and saw a text from my daughter-in-law, Catherine. It read, "They just announced that the bride and groom are going to be joining us soon. Can't wait to celebrate with you both." I stared at the message, surprised by the venom that filled me. Celebration? They were celebrating. Meanwhile, I was shoved into a closet the size of a walk-in. With a sudden burst of anger, I got up, walked to the window, and pressed my palm against the cool glass. The sound of laughter reached me, carried on the breeze. They were gathered on the lawn beneath the string lights. Will was raising his glass. Catherine was beaming. Somewhere inside me, something snapped. I fished my phone out of my pocket and dialed a number. My hands trembled so badly I had to sit back down. When the call went to voicemail, I tried again. And again, my voice shaking, I said, "I need you to get over here right now. We have to leave." I heard a loud crash followed by a string of curses. "What the hell, Louise? What happened?" My sister's voice was sharp with worry. "We can't stay here, Maggie. We have to get out of here." I could hear the commotion rising behind me, footsteps and voices. I pulled my shawl tighter around me. "Why? What's going on? Are you at Will's?" I whispered urgently. "Get down here. Please hurry." I hung up and waited. When my sister arrived, I didn't have to explain. Maggie knew that look on my face, that wild, desperate hope, and the crushing disappointment that followed. She didn't ask any questions. She just took my hand and we walked out the side door together, leaving behind the laughter and the music and the life we once knew, because there was no going back now. I made sure of that.